Alright, this is a super simple test of chargers, little backup chargers, portable power banks, different cables. Most importantly, actually, this video is mostly about is the different cables available. I got a bunch of cheap ones, a bunch of weird ones, really long one, etc. So, without further ado, here's the original Samsung Galaxy charging current light to tell what current we've got. This is just a base reference. This is actually a 2 amp charger, Galaxy S4. So it says reference 1200 milliamps, and it's averaging 1200 milliamps. Pretty good, charges pretty quick with this. Now we're going to try the next thing. It's going to be a little eBay brand kind of thin charger cable. This actually came with a Chinese eBay, cheapy charger that says Samsung on it. It's not actually a legit Samsung though, because you pay $2 for something. It's not real. Alright, this guy with this cable, 540 milliamps. Bear in mind that's on a 2 amp charger supposedly that's getting 1200 milliamps with a standard Samsung cable. 500 milliamps. This doesn't even usually get the cable warm, whereas the Samsung cable will get a little bit warm. So that's that guy. This guy, $3, maybe $4, 10-foot cable. It was actually kind of convenient I had it in my room, but turns out this one only provides 300 milliamps. Pretty terrible. Charges very slowly. In fact, if the screen is on and you're doing anything with the phone, it will actually drain. We'll go to this one later. This is an extension cord. It's actually kind of funny. No current. It doesn't charge at all when it's plugged in with this one, so something's wrong with that. This one is a Dollar Tree cable. It's like 2 meters or something. $1. Dollar Tree. $340 milliamps. Pretty bad. Same thing with this. It won't even keep the phone alive. This is a HTC cable. Don't have the charger to test it, but I'll lift up on this guy to get it in there, I think. There it goes. 1200. Exactly what it should be at. This is a good cable. Bear in mind that came with an HTC phone. Shows you the quality difference. So this is a Jawbone brand. I also have the charger here. Charger's actually rated only at 550 milliamps. Little flexi cable, really short. Now, if you know anything about Ohm's law, resistance, and that sort of thing, you know that a short copper cable will carry more current than a long equivalent of the same size. Also, 1200, works wonderful. Very short cable, about a foot. Came with one of these guys, a little eBay $1.90. I think this was $1.90, maybe $2.90, something like that. This one provides 420 milliamps. It's very, very bad, especially when you consider that they advertised this charger at 1 amp. So next thing, just to kind of give you an idea, here's the Jawbone charger with the Jawbone cable. 560, right where it should be. It's rated at 550. It's providing 560. So I won't test this one, but it did actually provide about I think it was 700 or 800 milliamps. This is not bad. So next up, got this little guy. This has a Panasonic 18650 inside. That's 3100 milliamps or mAh, whatever. Great, probably one of the best batteries you can get for a low drain. So this guy, with the cable that it came with, outputs, as you can probably already guess, not very well. 340 milliamps. Pretty terrible. You know, I was expecting an amp, but it doesn't. So, same box, Samsung cable. $1,200. It's actually more than what it said it was going to be. So it's charging just as well as the factory charger. You know, whether or not that's clean power, you can argue that this is not going to be a good power source because it's cheap and Chinese, but it does actually provide the current it's advertised or more. Not really much need or to continue to test these for current, but I can just for the video. If I can get this little guy, this is the HTC cable. Normally I can get this one in here. There it goes. 1,200. Just as good as a Samsung cable. Dollar Tree cable. I'm surprised this actually even charges the phone. $300 milliamps. Pretty bad. I do have another charging box. This one has two 18650s inside, a little flashlight on it. Also the Panasonic 18650s. This, for a long time, I had this little short Jawbone cable on it. Put this guy on the top. You know, test it this way. You got to turn this one on. 1,200 provides good power. And coupled with the cheaper cables, you can see, you know, it won't even keep the phone on. So you know, my mind was blown for a little while. I was very confused as to why I wasn't getting good power out of these little charging boxes, even running the cable it came with, or cable that seemed like it would be decent quality, this 10-foot cable, or the knockoff Samsung. You know, it looks very similar, but it's just not as thick, and you know, the copper in there is going to be very thin. It bends like a headphone jack, you know, or a headphone cable. So I just heard a lot of talk about cables in the, you know, in the news feed on the internet lately. So I figured I'd make a little video of my experience with the charging boxes and different cables. So buy a quality cable. branded, not on eBay, from a reputable seller, I would imagine you could probably pick up a Samsung, HTC cable from Best Buy or maybe Newegg. But eBay, you're going to get this junk. It's fake, not real, knockoff. And apparently, the only thing really bad to worry about are these cheap cables. Really, really thin. I mean, you can see the difference right there. It's really hard to discern on a listing that this is going to be a knockoff cable or a knockoff charger. But, yeah, it turns out it appears in my situation that the cable was the culprit. So,